Hello everyone, welcome back to my stream where today I have returned and I took a little bit of a break because I was having some OBS problems on Monday. My days are backwards. On Monday, I had to cancel because I was not having it with OBS. OBS was kind of playing pranks on me, so I had to correct a couple of things. But we're back, and I'm so excited because I wanted to change kind of the way I do stream a little bit. The big change, and this is quite recent if you weren't here, has been mainly just this chat window that I have created since my webcam has shrunk indefinitely. So that's fun. That's really fun to deal with. But beyond that, yeah, so the aspect ratio for my stream is different, but I do like it. It gives more of a streamer vibe to it. I think that's what Coral mentioned earlier. So it's, hey, I'm looking silver lining. I think it's just a change. I'm gonna make it work. That's where we're gonna go with. But I also wanted kind of to change. So today I posted another JoJo Lands video. You can go watch it right now on my channel. It's a brand new one. We did the latest 2 chapters with Indomitable, which it's already been like a month since we should have posted it, but now it's out. So you're welcome. And I know it's a little late for that, but we want to keep doing the series because I've been liking how the videos have been turning out. It's actually the easiest to edit. It's my favorite to do. Super chill vibes with Indomitable. We crack jokes all the time. So it's been getting better and better. I think that's going to be probably the longest lasting consistent thing on my channel by far. And I think that's really funny. But yeah, so today marks sort of a turning point within my streaming career because I believe I believe this firm thing that the universe at times is out to get to me. And it will let me know that based on how my day starts. If there's one odd thing, like I'm talking Final Destination, Milo Murphy's Law, just anything that's like slightly wrong with the day that is very unusual for the daily routine that you have to deal with, usually that spells trouble. It's like, you know, what is it? You see a black cat and it goes underneath a ladder, you know? It's like all of the bad signs that you want. For me, it's driving. When I can tell I have 3 close encounters of people almost driving into me because they don't know how to merge in traffic, or it's sprinkling, not downpouring, sprinkling. Their brain turns off so they don't know how to drive anymore. That usually is a telltale sign that the day is not going to go that great. And I've had some pretty close calls with drivers. I've just been like, I've been trained to be more of a defensive driver because my biggest fear with driving isn't necessarily my own driving. It's what other people are capable of. And it sucks even more because I've also been a pedestrian. Like literally a couple hours ago, I went to go get food and I was crossing the road. This dude, this big ass truck almost isekai'd me. Now, granted, it wasn't a white minivan, so I might have just died for real. This was like a big semi truck, but still, I was like, what the hell? Like I could have died. And it's just a sign of that. That's when you know the day is kind of cooked, not gonna lie. But yeah, so usually I have a good bearing of how things are going. That's all to say. Streaming has been sort of falling into this curse of what I like to call inconvenience effect, the misfortune effect, if you will. And what usually happens whenever I get into a routine, not even just streaming, just any positive routine like working out or starting a new habit like reading more, things happen like I don't have enough time because something comes up like a trip, a vacation that I have to plan, or work gets in the way, or like, for example, I was on vacation and I was gonna post daily, and this is a prime example. So I was on a cruise. I was doing a family trip. I enjoyed it. I got to see a lot of fun sites. Definitely go outside of the US, which I highly encourage. If you have the means to do so, please travel outside the US. It's so much fun. But I was stuck on a cruise and they didn't have good Wi-Fi. At least good enough Wi-Fi to upload YouTube videos. So the problem that I ran into is I could edit on DaVinci offline, but when I wanted to upload online, it would be super slow and I would lose connection. So that was my big dilemma with my plan of, hey, I want to start this thing with streaming where even if I'm on vacation, I want to at least edit these videos down to digestible chunks, which would mainly just be streams like this one you're seeing now, and then we'd post it. But unfortunately, the internet did not work out, so I couldn't post daily because I literally could not. Like, I was trying to upload it, and it was not uploading. So that's like an example of the universe getting in my way when I want to do something fun. Or when I work out, a big thing that happens is I get into a streak. I go 3 weeks straight, amazing streak of just having a routine, working out different areas of the body, the push and pull, you know what I mean, the biceps, triceps, abs, everything, back. I've been really good about that. And literally on the third week, before I could hit a month, I usually get sick and I can't work out because I get really sick and I use that time to rest. And by the time I recover, it undoes pretty much everything. So that's what I like to call the universe having it out for me. It's Milo Murphy's Law. Usually when I want to do things, things don't go the way. And honestly, that actually feeds into my personal philosophy, which is you have to adapt. And the success I've gained and reached over the course of my life, every single success has been due to me pushing through a lot of complications. Things happen, they don't go the way I plan, and I have to recover. But honestly, I also find some value in when I was telling this to a couple of my coworkers. It's like the best part about dealing with problems, especially unforeseen problems you're dealing with the first time, major problems, is the fact that if you can weather the storm, just like our ancestors did when they crossed the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean, right? Like, someone had to make that journey. And even though it was probably turbulent, it was awful conditions, the sickness killed a lot of people en route. You know what I mean? It was pretty dreadful. The fact that if you weather the storm, you made it to the other side, and then look, the world changed. Trade was established, explorers, you hear all these stories. Like, if we hadn't learned about each other and taken all the information and communication and writing systems from these other places, a lot of the progress we haven't seen in society would not happen. But it's because the risk was taken to, weather the storm, power through. And yeah, I mean, look where we are. And that's how I kind of view sort of anything, is like, if you can get through a challenge, you basically can tell yourself nowadays, okay, if this problem arises again, I know how to solve it because I've dealt with it before. Or you learn to adapt, so when another problem arises that is unfamiliar, you can bounce back accordingly. And I think that's super dope. I mean, that's the whole premise of, like, my favorite genre is lit RPGs, or the solo leveling genre, with the quest windows, right? Cultivation stuff where it's, there's a problem, you gotta work hard and find another way through because things go awry. And yeah, I mean, it happens. So let's just say the point I'm trying to make here, because it's a long tangent, I am a storyteller, okay? If you ask anyone that knows me, I like to ramble on and on and on. It's something I gotta work on, where I need to be concise and straight to the point. I very much like to paint. I'm an auteur, you know? I like to paint or imagine things. So when I tell a story, I had all these details, but you know, a lot of people sometimes are just like, no, just get straight to the point. And I'm like, you know what, that's fair. But that's all to say. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta work on it. And my thing that I'm working on right now, the storm that I am trying to weather, that's what I'm trying to get at, is content creation. Because I've been doing great with content creation, and then all of a sudden, lots of things happen at work. A lot of good things too. Let me just clarify that. I am going for a lot of promotions. I am getting those promotions, and there's just a lot going on behind the scenes in my life. And, you know, that's all to say, now I got to just power through. That's the whole point. And now that I've focused on my job, like my full-time job that does pay the bills, I'm bouncing back now to content creation. And I have, again, I've suffered the curse. I wasn't able to upload. And after that, I kind of went on hiatus. I had OBS problems. I didn't stream for a couple days. I've been very inconsistent. And so all this to say, starting today, I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen again. We're going to make sure that all these complications, everything that I'm struggling with right now, I'm going to try and get used to it, because I have another big trip coming up planned in the next coming weeks. And my goal is, hey, round one of my vacation that I had planned to post videos over did not work the first time. I have round two. You know, I'm in the boxing ring. I've been knocked down. There's 2 more rounds to go. I got to get back up, you know, and keep fighting. So, that's safe to say, that's sort of been my goal right now. And streaming, I'm not going to lie, because streaming I've always saw as sort of like a lucrative career. If you make it big enough, pretty much you're coasting. I think streaming, if you are big, earning, like, I'll say the amount of money to be able to sustain yourself and cover your rent and living expenses, if you can afford that as a streamer, you have an easier job than a 9-to-5. I'm just going to say that. If you run orgs and do all, maybe there's a little bit of like, okay, maybe you do a little bit more, but for the most part, I feel like streaming is easier than a 9-to-5 if you can pay the bills and you're just doing something regular, or you're supplementing other people, like paying editors to do your work. So it's like even less work for you. All you have to do is turn on a camera and be entertaining, you know? That's where I stand on the argument. But with sort of the goal, and I actually felt this way because I actually was watching Ludwig again. I was getting back into him because he was actually the one who motivated me to not only start YouTube, but also thinking about streaming after I made somewhat of a moderate success on YouTube. Like, I got monetized. I got over 1,000 subscribers in less than 2 years, which was huge. I have videos over 20,000 views, and that still blows my mind. But like, my goal is, as a content creator, is, hey, I've been having all the success. I want to try streaming, and streaming has not been working out the way I envisioned. I was hoping to have a little bit more success in streaming than I currently have. Safe to say, it's no one's fault. This is just sort of an observation. This is something that, you know, I changed my approach on a lot of things, especially with streaming, because I originally wanted to be a Genshin Impact streamer, and then an anime streamer, and then a tier list streamer, and then a variety streamer. And now I'm settling on variety streaming. That's kind of like the end all be all. But like, my goal hasn't shifted. I still want to give streaming a shot. I just, again, I think the great part about streaming is there's no expectations, especially right now. Especially when you start off, right? There are no expectations. You don't fail. You don't lose your job. if you don't get enough viewers or subscribers or sponsors. I will say that's the thing about sponsors is they want the numbers, and if you're not providing the numbers, then what's going on? You know what I mean? So I will say I do have a little bit more lenience than, say, some of the bigger ones that have these obligations and responsibilities. Safe to say, though, I did feel... So when I was rewatching Ludwig, I'm going to circle back. When I was rewatching Ludwig, he made a video where he streamed again in the big 2025 to no one for the first time that year. And he was saying how hard it was to get one viewer, just one viewer, to like chat with him, and not a bot, but like just someone who just casually just finds him. Now that, when he said that, I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel a little bit better as a smaller content creator, because I also know that the landscape has changed, and if he was having difficulty at the size that he is, that just goes to show, like, hey, I feel like I have it. I have, like, I was even looking at like the YouTube videos we were editing, at least a couple that I posted, and I think I can make it big. I think I can make it bigger than where I currently am by the end of the year. And I think that's going to be my new goal, is if I can reach that point, that mountaintop that I see where I have 3 chatters. I know it's a big reach goal. 3 chatters in my chat. I think that would be phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, I'm talking to no one right now. Like, you see the screen next to me? I am talking to no one. Yet I feel like I can have a conversation with the camera. And that's something I used to not be able to do. And that's what also, I've always mentioned this. Please give yourself more credit. Regardless of who you are, please give yourself more credit, because that is one of my worst vices, is I did not do that for myself. I did not value myself and the contributions I've had over the course of my life to others, to myself. All the achievements I like to downplay, because I have this weird humbleness that I feel like I'm being humbled by putting myself down, but really it doesn't help anyone, you know? So yeah, like I think I have grown significantly since I've started streaming for the first time. This was like, I think a year ago. This is bad. Yeah. No. Yeah. It was a year ago. Over a year ago, I was in my old apartment and I was streaming then. Now I have my own place. I have a new place that I worked for, and I'm streaming still. But if I go back, and I wish I have a couple of shorts, but if I really went back and looked at myself when I first started streaming then, I think it's on my YouTube channel, a couple of them. I didn't know how to talk. It was mostly dead space. I was kind of awkward and didn't know how to conversate. But now that I'm like, I've done a lot, I've practiced, I feel like I've gotten better. And that's an achievement within itself. If you're, like, imagine this, you're walking on a beach by yourself. And of course, when you're walking on the beach, you make footprints in the sand, right? Sometimes you got to turn around, and even if you feel like you didn't move, turn around and you'll see the footprints. And if you take 5 steps forward, you're 5 steps down further than where you started, right? So this is all to say, like, I've been sort of a little bit harsh on myself when it comes to streaming. But again, I blame it on the bad luck, the universe having it out against me, saying, hey, we don't want you to be successful, which actually motivates me to be more to be successful. Because if the universe wants to spite me, I'm going to spite the universe. You know what I mean? All the powers that may be up there, whether whatever religion you believe in, or if not, if you believe in high, like just powers beyond our control. I think everyone can agree upon that. There are powers beyond our control, regardless of what you believe in. If they want you to fail, you better do your best to succeed, right? You gotta spite them, you know? And I like imagining it. Like there's this plot, like for some reason, I was like the chosen one. I was gifted. And for whatever reason, the universe just did not want me to succeed or get my way for whatever reason. So it's doing everything in its power to stop me, right? It's like Richard Watterson when he gets that job in Amazing World of Gumball and the universe is falling apart. That's how I feel sometimes, where it's like the universe is seeing me do well and it's throwing every single curveball it can at me. And I'm just gonna keep fighting, you know? You gotta keep walking. But yeah, I don't know. So it's sort of a weird time, and I have gotten better. We are making strides. I actually am late to stream today because I was editing a quick thumbnail for stream because I was looking. I'm like, dang, I kind of got lazy with the thumbnails. I kind of kept it the same. Let me change it up, so we could be a little bit more dynamic. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go back to posting YouTube videos. I mean, I got the JoJo Lands one done today, so I'm happy about that because that was something I was sitting on, and I really should have been like, okay, let me sit down and actually get this done and edited and posted. And I give myself credit for doing that because procrastination, Seyorias, procrastination is not the best. It's actually pretty dreadful. But yeah, I mean, also like the fact that, look, aspect ratio changed, did not like the square because of this empty space that would have been here. So I made a banner in Canva, free by the way, and I made this all by myself, even with the Seyorias name, and it looks very professional. So I have to give myself props. I'm very creative. I'm very resourceful. Like, come on, Seyorias, you're doing great, you know? Believe in the me that believes in you. The drill that will pierce the heavens. Gurren Lagann. You know, kind of like that. I need some Kamina wisdom right now. I need the fight the power. I need to listen to that song more and more. You know, just on loop. Just whenever I feel down, I need to get back into it. That's probably one of the most hype soundtracks in all of anime, in my opinion. The Gurren Lagann. Fight the power. And then you have the opening, both openings and endings. Oh, man, Gurren Lagann's so good. By the way, so speaking of thumbnails, why did I put Kazuma on today's thumbnail? You're probably asking yourself. Well, it's because there is no such thing as a popular phase. Contrary to popular belief, I use popular twice. That's my gimmick. But what I mean by that is I feel like there's a point in time where if you're feeling a little bit lonely, if you're a little bit introverted, you may think that life would be better with friends or with family. And I will say, for the most part, I think that is true. I think you do need companionship. You do need relationships. That is the whole point of life, in my opinion, because there comes a point after death where once you die, and this is my philosophy that I have been so adamant about the way I live, is you can't take anything with you beyond the people in your life. Like, you can't take any clothes, you can't take any achievements, you can't even take your wealth. Once you pass on, the only people that you will have is the people in your life. And that goes to show, like, okay, definitely be social, definitely have friends, and form long-lasting relationships. That is the recipe for success. Because let me tell you, as someone who was at a very, very low point in his high school career, the thing that helped me out of that was my college friends, and that's why they are near and dear. That's why I'm a big fan of Fairy Tail, because Fairy Tail is all about the power of friendship, and the power of friendship literally saved my life. So yeah, I gotta segue to Fairy Tail every once in a while. Yeah. But that all goes to show, I still think there's no such thing as a popular phase within the definition. And you know, I mean, the reason why I use Kazuma as an example is because the Konosuba movie makes a whole point about it. I think that is probably one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, the Konosuba movie. Especially, I think it has one of the best, like, opening stingers not opening stingers, like opening scenes to a film in general, not even anime film, just a film in general. It's just so funny and just captures what Konosuba's about. But beyond that, I think Kazuma is a little bit like, the whole point is Kazuma wants to do this popular phase where girls fall in love with him. They all want to date him, you know? People love him. People are singing him praises. And I feel like, to a certain extent, everyone does crave that at one point in their life. You want to be accepted. You want that. I like to call it the assurance that you do everything right. The validation, right? Because you can do everything right in life. Like, you can follow the laws, you could be a good person, you donate to charity, but if no one's telling you that you're doing a good job and no one's looking up to, what's the point? And I hate to say it because it makes me seem like a supervillain, but like, we feed off emotions. Humans by nature feed off emotions. And if you're doing things that, you know, you aren't receiving it, you're going to feel like all your efforts are for nothing and make you feel bad, or you're wasting your time. And that's a really bad feeling to have. So that's where I'm like, you have to be a little bit worried of, like, the popular phase does not exist, because the premise that all of your problems, also, even if you did have a popular phase, all your problems could be solved because of people falling in love with you, people praising you. And I think that is so disingenuous. I think that is just completely wrong on so many levels, because even if you were popular, even if you had a lot of people following you, I am at this point in my life where I'm now dealing with a lot of other people's problems because I've formed a lot of relationships. And this is mostly talking about family, unfortunately. I'm dealing with a lot of just annoying little grievances here and there because of some of the people in my life. But this is all to say, like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And I think that is where I think a frustration lies for a lot of people is, and this is like the popular phase mentality, where it's like, if I was in, like, because we all knew there were popular kids in school, high school, regardless of gender, you knew there was popular kids. The ones that, you know, thought highly of themselves, looked down upon people sometimes. You know what I'm talking about. But you had this thought, and this is for any introvert out there, you had this thought where it's like, I wish I was in their shoes. I wish I had the relationships this person had, because everyone seems to love them. And I like to say that idea of, like, look, if I had this, it's perfect. It doesn't exist. It's a lie. And that's like the biggest problem, I think, for anyone going into adulthood or anyone who matures. It's not sunshine and rainbows. You have to deal with a lot more drama with more people. So it's a win and a lose situation, a win-lose situation, where realistically, you surround yourself with people that you care about, but then you also, because you care about it, you have to deal with certain issues or problems that arise. There may be things, grievances on your end that you cause the other person, right? And so that's kind of where I think the big lie is that you will reach a point where you could sit back, relax, like almost like has anyone sunbathed before? Like in front of a pool or a hotel, where you just sit back and relax and you just sunbathe, right, on those nice comfy chairs. That's why I feel like a lot of people, when they think of popular phase, believe what will happen if they get to that point of being popular. But the issue is that's not what happens. When you reach a certain point and gain a certain amount of power, it leads sometimes to maybe not more problems, but different problems. And that is the biggest lie, is this idea that there will be, same with money too, like wealth too, right? Just because you have money doesn't make you happy. Just because you have family and friends doesn't make you happy. Like a lot of things that are surefire reassurances, yeah, they can help, but it's not a guaranteed 24/7 success like social media makes it out to be, or your own preconceived notions derived from media that you grew up with. Like I grew up with early 2000s high school films, like Disney Channel films, like High School Musical and stuff, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So my perception of what things should be are completely skewed because I was growing up looking at these cartoons and these movies and thinking life could be so much better if I had this. And that's the materialist life too, also. Like, oh, if I like it, for women, it could be jewelry, could be makeup. Oh, if I do this, people will love me. If I get this, people will love me. If I have an Instagram profile, people will love me. For men, it's the working out muscle. Like, look at, like, if I become ripped, people will love me. If I take cool photos, if I'm funny, people will like me. If I, didn't have an ugly face, and if I didn't have acne, people would love me. If I was taller, people would love me. Like, there's just so many things out there that just spell trouble. And I think this is like sort of my biggest pushback is like, that is something that I see. I'm a little bit of a weird kid, especially growing up. I just never really subscribed to the notions, and I think that's where I was a little bit alienated from a lot of people. Which granted, okay. Confession time. As much as I would love to be labeled as that guy who was like Greg from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, or just any loser from a high school film, the nerd, the kid who, everyone made fun of, right? The one that was bullied. I think it's really funny. I wasn't that. As much as I think that'd be cool because it makes me have an underdog story, I never was bullied in that regard. No, I was a little bit weird. I was actually a little bit of an elitist growing up. I'm gonna just say this. It's kind of embarrassing, but I remember growing up, I would look at kids and they would be doing things that I thought were stupid, quite frankly. And I didn't want to hang out with them because I thought they were dumb, like throwing basketballs at each other's heads. I'm like, you're going to get injured. And looking back, I'm like, yeah, it would have been a concussion. Oh my goodness. Or kids like pushing each other or roughhousing. I made sure to say like away from that. Because I was just like, why are we being so dumb? Like, my parents tell me not to do that, and I've hurt myself before multiple times, whether it's been like riding a bike and I fall off and scrape my knees, or playing soccer, I scrape my knees. Like, there are so many times that happens. But yeah, like, it's just a lot. So my point is, so despite And here, okay. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm like going all over the place with my storytelling. I need to like lock in and actually finish the story. All this to say, I, for the longest time, thought because I was different from everyone else, a lot of people thought like didn't want to hang out with me or just were just not interested in me. And when I say not interested in me, I'm talking about girls. Because I'm not gonna lie, I had a few crushes on a couple of girls growing up, and they weren't interested in me. But what I realized was just because the two I wasn't interested in, there were like, I'm pretty sure like 5 that had like feelings for me, even just a little bit. And this is over the course of like 10 years. I don't mean to flex. But I was kind of a klutz and did not know that. So whenever they would talk to me, this would be in like classroom settings. I was just like, oh, you're just trying to be friendly with me because we have to do a school project together. Not seeing the signs. And this is where I think I've also avoided a lot of trouble because I was so dense. I was literally an isekai protagonist. I was so dense that all these girls moved on because I didn't pick up on it. And it's safe to say, I'm not upset about that. I'm actually happier from where I am because I've actually heard horror stories of these girls getting in relationships. They weren't the problem, but like just hearing all the problems and responsibilities that you have to earn now that you get into relationships, I'm kind of glad I avoided all of that. So safe to say, the popular phase, not the best place to be. Because that can lead to a lot of problems. And especially I used to be friends with a lot of kids growing up and these big friend groups. And the older we got, we went through middle school and high school, these groups broke apart because we formed different interests over the years. And now they're these little clusters, and I think it's like kind of funny looking back on how much things could change within such a short period of time. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I did have a popular phase. People did like me. But like again, it wasn't sunshine and rainbows. I was dealing with my own stuff, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't put fuel on the fire with having to deal with a relationship that I was absolutely not ready for. Looking back at my past self, I'm like, bro, younger Seyorias literally saw the rom-coms of the early 2000s. Like the one that was my favorite was Sorcerer's Apprentice because of the one Tesla coil scene with secrets from One Republic. Still an iconic scene for me growing up because the music plays and he gets the girl. That was my brain in like middle school and high school was I want to be this guy. Just this ordinary Joe Schmo who gets this responsibility, this power. Like all this magic and stuff. And he likes a girl and he has to use his powers to save the girl. And then they get together and it's happily ever after. I've always been that type of person where it's, I want to get the girl. I want to save the girl. Like I want the fairy tale ending. And it also could be the reason why I was like huge into shipping. Even as a kid, I'm like, I want these two characters to be together. I like the relationship. Which it shocks me because I've never had like a childhood crush within a fictional piece of media. Like all the cartoons, like people are like, oh, like if you watch Teen Titans, like, oh, I like Raven. Oh, I like Starfire. You know, I was never one of those. I was just like, I think these two characters would be so fun to get together with. Like my controversial one was Terra and Beast Boy from the OG Teen Titans. I thought that was actually a really cool relationship, but you know, alas, that's very not how the story went when I was watching those episodes. Rip Beast Boy, I feel for him. So awful. But yeah, no, but like quite honestly, like I mean, I still watch and read. Like, that's why I love manhwa sometimes. Because if manhwa can nail a really good romance between two characters, I love it. And that's, you know, it's kind of the same premise. Maybe it's like the guy super strong, he rescues the female, and then they fall in love, and that's how it goes. I like it when also the female also contributes. She's not just, oh, save me, but she also is like a support, emotional support for him. I appreciate when that happens within a story. I like, actually a favorite trope of mine is the princess. And I'm not talking about, oh, the save me type of princess, but I'm talking about the ones in stories where the dude's like a badass warrior who's really good at combat and stuff. And then you go to like the female love interest, right? And she's super hot, right? But it's like her political power is so interesting. The way like she navigates, like declaring war on like countries, or, you know, being a strategist, being like a proper born leader. Like, I like that ship dynamic because it actually adds a lot more character to just the female role, as opposed to you're just eye candy. You know what I mean? I kind of like the badass princess, or better yet, the badass princess or warrior princess, the ones that fight and can kick ass. I'm like, damn, yeah. No, so I guess my, like, over the course of the years, I used to be like, the dude saves the girl is the emotional support for the main dude, right? That's sort of been like what I wanted my romance to be, and how I imagined if I were to get a girlfriend, how I would act as a boyfriend. But now I'm kind of on the other side. I'm like, you know what? I'll be the emotional support. If you're the badass going out, you know, being the breadwinner, I'll put on the apron. I'll cook. I'll take the kids to school. It's just so funny how things change, where I'm, you know, also public perception of these gender roles is so fun. But that's all to say that, like, it's just the expectations, especially when it comes to idealism versus realism, fiction versus reality, they have a lot of ramifications within our society. And you see it, I think, most obviously in the culture, where you see a lot of dudes, I hate to say it, you guys are such gooners, but they just do not hold back. And the way that they talk and believe what the pinnacle of, you know, being like the ultimate man is, right? To bang all these girls falling in love with you, and you just coast, and you're a CEO that basically points and you get millions of dollars every day. Hate to say it, that's not the reality. That's not what's gonna happen. Especially even if you had both, more money, more problems. That's the quote, right? If you're CEO, you probably have to deal with all this aftermath. You have to put in the work for the money that you receive. And then same with the women. It's like, well, if you have women falling for you, you know, they catch you cheating, it's just gonna paint you in a bad light, you know. Unless you have this weird thing going on. But even then, like, who's gonna respect you, right? Like, because at the end of the day, I like to see, I wish, and I've always been in support of healthy relationships, whether they're conventional or not conventional. Like, I support gay marriage, I support straight marriage. I believe if you love anyone, I think there should be room to allow you to have a relationship with someone, in the same way that others have. Everyone should be equal in that regard. That's always been my stance, and I still stand by it firmly. The tough part I believe in, and this is where I do not sympathize with the idea that media portrays too. I don't believe in hookups. I think hookups, or saying you're in a relationship that's a hookup, that's not, you're not in a relationship. I'm sorry, I hate to break it. Nope. And as much I would love to support polygamy, if you have an equal partnership in polygamy, I think polygamy is my idealistic version of a relationship. And the reason why I mean it is because it's not realistic. in media, in fiction, they portray as, yeah, it could work out. Yeah, if the guy is strong enough, you know, he can take care of all of these women. Or vice versa. This woman who's incredible can take care of all these men. I am in support of polygamy if it is genuinely love from the heart. But the problem is that polygamy is just a sex cult nowadays. Anyone who says they're in a polygamous relationship, most often than not, is done for sexual gratification. And therefore, and I've actually seen it more of it if it's like three partners, has actually been a little bit more healthier to be in a polygamous relationship. But I'm talking about the ones who are like, oh, let's like date 10 people, or be what's the other one? There's like a specific term for it. Polygot, or not polygot. Polygot's the language thing. It's the one where it's like there's multiple relationships within the relationship. I don't believe with that. I'm just like, that's just like friends with benefits, hookup culture nonsense. Because if you spent time with each other and actually cared for each other, and there was at least substance behind the relationships beyond the bodily pleasures, that to me is what defines an actual loving relationship. Is if you can balance both, or even if you can't balance both, there is an attempt to make a relationship work beyond the gratification aspect. Because if you rely on the gratification aspect, then it leads to all these complications later down the line where it's like, you know, you have a falling out with someone and the only thing tying you down is pleasure. You could get pleasure from anyone else. So what's the point of staying in that relationship? And that's why a lot of marriages that are built on that rocky foundation fall apart. Not speaking by experience, not speaking metrics. This is just sort of like an observation is, you know, you don't do your best to invest in a relationship, it's not going to work out. It's just common science. It's not targeting anyone in particular. It's just more of a just, hey, watch out, you know, kind of thing. But safe to say, I've always been on the side of, you know, I think a man and a woman loving each other. The only time I have ever approved polygamy has been joking about anime and joking about it in a non-serious way, or to bug people who like are complaining that I don't have a girlfriend yet, despite my 24 years of being alive. I've never been in a relationship, and people think it's a sad thing. People think it could be because, you know, I'm not putting myself out there. No, I think I could get one. It's just I choose not to. It's a choice. It's a personal choice for me. So, fun fact, Seyorias. If you're looking to potentially get with Seyorias, unfortunately, Seyorias is not interested. Just want to put that out there. And later down the line, you know, if someone comes across this video and is like, hey, you know, Seyorias is big, I'm interested in him. Just as a heads up, my mind probably won't change in the future either. I'm just not interested, period. Yeah, a straight man who's not interested in women, but not gay. I mean, as in, I'm just don't want a relationship, period. I think that's also a misconception too. A lot of people think I'm like gay or bisexual. As much as I love my homies, both of them, my bi homies and my gay homies, I don't swing that way. I'm very much a straight man. Even despite me also being a straight man that is very, I guess, non-traditional with the way that I like to just have fun, which is like, I like K-pop. I'm open about that. I love K-dramas. And it's weird. It's like you see these things as a little bit more feminine, especially because I love a lot more the male idols than the female idols. I love female idols, but I've been listening a lot more to like BTS and Hyphen, 17, and big one is Stray Kids. So I've been listening to a lot of them, and people are like, wow. They're like, are you sure you're not gay? I'm like, okay, I just love the songs. Just let me be a straight man vibing to K-pop, you know? But again, this is disclaimer. Love my gay homies, love my bi homies. I just don't lean that way. And I respect it. I respect you guys, so I hope you respect me. That's how it stands, you know? But yeah, I mean, I will joke too. I mean, in terms of relationship, and mind you, this is like a bit that I pull every stream too when Coral's on. We talk about anime MILFs or manhwa MILFs. If I have a type, it would be a MILF. Safe to say though, my MILF is more in the realm of idealism. So it would be like the anime or manhwa hot MILFs who are badass CEOs that can kick ass, you know, that are also, I might have mentioned, super hot. Yeah, that's my type. that is 100% my type. Yeah. But again, it's all more for the memes than anything. I'm not really just interested in relationships in real life. And plus, I feel like the way I want to live my life, and I saw a lot of Instagram reels about it, and I think it's really funny, where it's all about like, okay, what's plan A? Starting a family, having a daughter and son, having a loving wife, and maybe a dog too. Meanwhile, plan B, being the cool uncle. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like I want to be the cool uncle because I have 2 younger brothers. I think I'd be so cool if I show up, like I show up randomly in the middle of the night. I'm like, hey, you know, and then my nephews go or nieces go, you know, Uncle Seyorias. I'm like, hey, what's going on, kids? Here, have like a sword that I forged in the woods or something crazy like that. You know, I have like the craziest stories. I'm off the grid 90% of the time. I think that'd be so funny. You know, my life is basically a mystery. My younger brothers don't know how I survive. They're like, how do you go? Like, where do you go out there? I'm like, yeah, I just vibe out there. I exist out there. You know, that's just the whole point. But yeah, I mean, but like, so that's kind of where I stand. And I want to be more open with my relationships, especially when it comes to like my friends. I kind of meme around a lot, and especially because we all like to do the self-deprecation humor about how we're all single. But I quite honestly am an anomaly within the group because I do not want a relationship. I still don't. And I don't think that will change. I don't think my mind will change. I do not. Because I find pleasure within my own company, with the friends that I make, with content creation, and I don't see a need for it, because then it's just like you take away time. And I'm of the opinion too, it's like, why do something, why invest time in something that you're not going to enjoy or isn't in your favor? Why do it then? You know what I mean? Like school, yeah, you have to do it because it's in your favor to get educated. Yeah, go to college, get a degree. It's in your favor. Get a job so you can pay for your rent. That's in your favor. That's realistic. But like, say like, oh, I want to go, you know, I want to go into, I'm going to make fun of myself right now. I want to go into film, you know, I want to be a filmmaker. Well, do you like films? Not really. I just think it'd be okay. It's like, no. Then why do it? Why waste your time? Because it's a time commitment. It's like, why do things if it's not going to pay off in the end? Especially with film in the art field that doesn't pay the bills. You basically have to get an actual job to do with your actual job. Like your fun job, which isn't fun. It's very stressful. A fun, stressful job. That's what film is. But yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know how it is, because again, it's just like I just want to chill. I want to live my life to the fullest, and I live by a personal philosophy. I have like 7 principles that I follow, and it's led me to quite a large success in life. Like I mentioned before, in my full-time job, which is why I kind of deviate from streaming. If I deviate from streaming and content creation, it's usually from my full-time job. But my job has been giving me all these proficiencies and promotions. And that's just because I've been working hard and following what I basically has been my, like the principles of like the 7 in my head that have been basically pushing me to work hard and to live valiantly. Because that's what you need in life. I feel like a man without a moral code, you're going to be an awful person. I'm sorry. If you don't have like a moral code of any type or like any direction, you're going to find yourself in a very dark place. Because then it's like, what's the point of doing anything? And it's not to say that if you don't have anything going on to end it all, absolutely not. But what I am saying is if you don't have a direction that you're heading in, you just got to find it for yourself, you know? If the wind is not catching your sails and you see the island, but you're not going closer to the island, you're almost drifting away. Sorry, you got to grab that oar and just start paddling. You know what I mean? Paddling that rowboat all the way. You got to keep going. You got to make your own wind until it catches on, you know? Dang, I'm all about the analogies today. What's going on? And I'm just yapping. I'm yapping like crazy. I need to drink more water. That's what I need to do. Did I tell you I'm dehydrated? Florida, don't mess with Florida. It's very hot over here. Yeah, and like Orlando too. Oh, Orlando's pretty miserable right now because the heat may have gone away a little bit, but so Florida has this thing going on, and this is also going into like my little rant about like how things are crazy nowadays, or when you have a crazy day to start, it's gonna cause like a chain reaction of things that are just gonna keep going haywire. The weather is being like bipolar pretty much. I mean it as the pun too, because of the 2 poles at the end of the earth. It really is, because on one hand it rains hard and the next it's sunny again and not a cloud in sight, and then 20 minutes later it downpours again. And when it downpours, it's like for 5 minutes or 3 hours or 30 seconds. Take your pick. Florida will do everything in its power to shuffle it every single time so it's unpredictable. And as someone who has to work outside, it's really, really just great that we have to like keep bouncing back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. We love that. But again, also, we are, I will say, silver lining. We are in a good time. If you live in Florida, you know what I'm talking about. But we're doing pretty well for ourselves, at least this year, because believe it or not, we haven't had any crazy hurricanes. It seems like they're all just missing us. And I'm like, hey, I'll take it. Because last year, the hurricanes were just... oh my goodness, that was a lot. That was, I don't know what that was. Like that big one that was like category 5, that when it hit us, it was like category 3, which we were always going to be fine. Someone asked me, are you going to, like, in case you're curious, if a hurricane hits Florida, does Orlando evacuate? No, we don't. Orlando does not evacuate because, evacuation is only for those on the coast. By the time the hurricane hits us, it's not as strong. So we don't have anything to worry about if we just stay inside. So that means just stock up on, I stocked up on instant ramen. I stocked up on food, like non-perishable food. And I was just chilling in my apartment. I was kind of living it. Kind of reminded me of COVID days. So yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. Just got to do what you got to do. I don't know. Sometimes I also feel tired. It could be my eating habits. It could be me not working out. But whenever I get to the end of the night, or I was also staring at my phone a lot today. Today was a siesta day. I did not do a single productive thing. Aside from streaming and getting JoJo Lands up, I was actually a couch potato reading webtoons on his phone the entire time. That was my day. And the only time I went outside was to go get food because I forced myself to. I was like, Seyorias, you were on your butt all day. This is not the Seyo bunker. You got to get up and actually get stuff done. And I was like, okay. And I'll have conversations with myself like that where it's just like, okay, you got to lock in, dude. You got to get into your training arc, especially because I want to pull off a costume for. I'm gonna go to MegaCon next year, with a friend, and we're gonna do a cosplay together as partners. And my roommate has like the perfect costume idea, and I do too, and we're gonna pull it off. But for mine to work, I got to get into good shape. Like Tom Holland Spider-Man Homecoming shape. And so I have several months until then, because the convention is until like March. But man, I gotta lock in. I gotta like get my costume in order. I'm gonna see if I can make it myself too, which will be really fun. Hopefully the weather isn't too hot by then. I think we're gonna be coming out, so it may be a little bit toasty, unfortunately, but I'll bring like a spare change of clothes to the convention so I can like change out if I need to. But yeah, like anyways, that's sort of like the plans right now. So one thing I want to change right now is we're switching gears, and I'm actually going to switch. We're going to be playing some Genshin Impact if it will load. There we go. Speaking of grinding, I need to level up my characters. So I was hoping we could do some dailies while I'm chatting right now, especially because Naughty Cry's coming up, and I'm actually super hyped about that. Also super hyped about the Demon Slayer movie. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I mean things have been good. Don't get me wrong. Things have been good. I like to just talk a lot. About like sort of like the grievances going on, because I always like to talk about the negative stuff. It is what it is. I like just being honest of like, hey, I'm kind of going through it, or it's not great. This thing going on right now. So I live a fortunate life. I am very transparent about that. I am very lucky compared to a lot of people out there. Oh my gosh, I'm almost there. Oh, Thursday, I gotta wait. But that's also to say, like, look, I want to do my best to succeed. And if that means sacrificing and doing things that, you know, are a little bit uncomfortable, like the streaming thing right now, because I don't really have too many viewers, which I am very fortunate with the ones I have. But because of my inconsistency and whatnot, it hasn't been going great. I just need to bounce back. I need to be fortunate. Look, take time, have fun with streaming, you know? And I need to stop being a couch potato. I gotta start working out and start being productive, because there are times where I don't want to do anything. And I think that's when I'm at my worst, is when I want to procrastinate and be lazy. And some days it's okay. Sometimes I need to give myself a break. But there's times where I push it and want to spend the whole week taking a chill pill. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. The whole point of living, being alive, is to live. The whole point of being alive is to live. Wow, what a statement. What am I even saying right now? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. It's just, oh, Skirk pretty. Why is she so short? Oh, the camera angle changed. It's like, why is she so short? There we go. There's my tall queen. Let's see. Toma's leveled up. I was talking about earlier how I wanted to level him up a lot. Unfortunately, I cannot because it's Thursday. Thursday's apparently they're gonna be the big day, I guess. Oh my goodness, and I'm very sleepy right now. I don't know why. Again, I didn't do anything today. Why am I sleepy? I don't know. Okay, I know I was trying to level her up. I do have the money. I do have a lot of money. I'm trying to see what characters I really need to level up though, you know? Benny, Shang Ling, Tuesday. Oh my goodness, seriously? Thursday. It seems like every single time I go in, it's just not ready. Barbara, I know I'm trying to level up Barbara too.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
I mean, I guess I could level her up soon. Yeah, Barbara's kind of OP. I know I need to level you up too, especially with your base claymore. Monday, Thursday. Again, it's not available yet. Oh man. Dang. This sucks. Okay, I could do that. I could level up Arlecchino. But I also should conserve resources, but this levels up quite a bit. So what should I do? At the end of the day, it's like a matter of like, okay, what needs to be done? You know what I mean? Knight Rider's all good. Because I've been playing Toma a lot. I haven't been playing Barbara at all. I mean, I could level him up. Heir of Prosperity. Maybe I should do that. I should level him up, right? All right, let's do it then. We'll level him up. Because if I go to my characters... I have a pretty stacked lineup. I've been doing pretty good. Yeah, Pyro, like I just got Toma, but I think it would be cool. I mean, I have Benny too, but I feel like Benny's better for a different combo, right? Instead of an old Pyro. Like if I did Gaming and Toma, right? And Arlecchino and maybe Chevreuse. We'd have a pretty good team. I just wish I had a different healer, right? Like, who's a good healer? I mean, I guess I could do like Barbara, and then we could do like a cool like vaporize attack. But we'll see. Let me level him up first. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I felt bad. I kind of gutted her whole artifact kit. Yeah, I don't have enough. I mean, I guess I also could level up Kazuma too. Eventually. I mean, Kazuma is in a really good state right now, so. Why is everything Thursday? What? Yeah, Chevreuse needs to level up too. I could level up Chevreuse first. I kind of want to do Chevreuse just so it's out of the way, you know? All right, let's do that. Double drop. Nice. All right, let's do that then. Ascend. Gotta beat the stupid seahorse. Let's go kick a seahorse's butt. It'll be much faster because I actually leveled up my characters. It's gonna be so funny. Since we can't use the Raiden for this one particularly, let's throw in Toma. And I'm actually gonna bring in a healer.
I'll take care of it.
There we go.
Nice. I like the rain.
We should be fine. Go, Skirt, go! Oh my gosh. I was already doing that much damage. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, look how much damage I'm doing.
Ready, steady, go!
Full heal for everyone. And that was so easy. I can do this a couple more times. Easy peasy. There we go. Spawn in again. Be a good little horsey. See if I can block it all. Oh my god. I did. Okay, we got this. We got this.
Don't get too close. I got you covered.
Come on, we can do it.
We shall prevent.
I'll protect us.
Haha. I used to struggle like a long time with the seahorse. Now we've been blasting through it, no problem. That's what happens when you just grind in this game. All right, so we just need a little bit of a flame. Easy. Wait, speaking of Barbara's ability here. Oh, I can craft a lot. Okay. Because if I leveled her ability up. Okay. How broken can she get? Well, I maxed out her weapon with refinement too, and her artifact set. So that means I just have to finalize a couple things on her end. I guess she'll be my next target. Either that or gaming. Gaming or gaming, I don't know. So this one's actually gonna be fun because I actually start with Toma. So I can shield from pyro attacks.
Yield. Annihilate. Mine to wield.
That should be enough to level up Chevreuse. Yeah, so 10 of the clockwork, the big ones, and 4 of the big chunks. Just enough, hehe. Now, where are the gearheads? Nice. And that should be enough, right? If my math is mathin' right. Yes, it is. Cool. It did not let me down. Okay, artifact set. Need that for Chevreuse. Look at this. I got all the constellations, not even trying. By accident. So now I have to level up Chevreuse. All right, let's go.
Fire it up!
You're exposed.
Let's dance.
All right, now we just got to go up and do it one more time. And then we're going to see our progress to see if like that would be enough heroes wits. Because luckily I'm getting that bonus. So it should be like count as 4. But we'll see. I hate when it's on the cliff and you have to climb up again. It's like, really? That's like so frustrating. It's like, oh.
Merciless.
We made it though. We made it. That's what matters, right? Us making it made to the end.
Let the show begin.
Oh, use my ult.
Never start those out.
Yeah, kind of broken. You guys were kind of cooked there.
Don't get too close!
Haha. That's what you get. Nice. Oh. Oh, I have time for one more. Okay, let's go one more. Oh, that's gonna be easy.
Yield.
Check this out.
Do your work.
Let's dance.
Yield.
All right, let's see if that did the trick. Come on, Chevrouse. Oh. We're getting like really close there. All right, I'm gonna check up on my house. Maybe that'll do the trick, right? You think so?
This realm is.
I spent a little
You
money.
ever have any?
Just a little bit. Really need to get her up. There we go. What is this? Okay. Oh my gosh, her weapon's so weak. What? Oh. Seriously? I could have done that today. Yeah, what's wrong with her weapon? Can I give her a better one? I'm gonna look at her kit real quick. I guess Black Tassel is the best one for her. Okay. Free to play, at least.
Where do we come from? And where are we going?
Oh, and I already leveled it up like a ton. So, yeah, it's like uber special now. Oh, I got 11. Do I do it?
All things come to an end, even time itself.
Trying to think. What should I do? I mean, I could craft more. I do not have enough though. I am broke on monies. Well, forget him. We're not gonna be able to level him up at all.
The abyss is like the world's shadow. It's always there.
Let's head on back.
Thank you for being.
Cool. I think we gotta work jobs. I'm not gonna lie. We actually have to get to work to like start paying off because I want to level up Barbara's ability, but to do so I need money. So let's do the dailies and then we should have enough, I think.
Go, Barbara, go!
Fire it up!
Annihilate. Mine to wield.
Pin them down!
I took like no damage. What? Oh, I guess it's because of Barbara's shield. Or healing ability. I think that's what happened.
You're exposed. Mine to wield.
Now I gotta go to the church now, and hopefully it's probably gonna be the hilly trail thing. Or it's like you gotta get a horde for the Fatui guy. Or you gotta get gift for the wife. One of the two. Yeah, I gotta go find the hilly trail stuff. Or Metachurl, not hilly churl. Metachurl. Can't wait to see more of the Fatui and Nod Cry though. That's coming soon. I can't reach that guy. That's so annoying. All right, mission accomplished. We got the dailies done. We have money. I need 5 pinwheels.
Add Astra. Thank you for complete.
Of course, anytime.
Add Astra.
There we go. Good. I mean, I could look at level up Chevrouse right now. Let's do it. Of course, we want our characters to be a little bit more balanced, right, guys? I just see that one, right? I need 2 of the little gear. Where'd you go? It's like over here somewhere. Oh, right here. trying to think right now. Preparing for Not Cry is fun. Because that's what we're doing right now. I'm going to switch out Barbara.
Ready to rumble.
Yeah. I just want to see how it looks, my team.
All right, team, let's move it out.
I don't really need to mess with the Black Tassel. I just need her weapon. I'm pretty sure. Okay, if I level him up to 80, they'll be in the same boat. So that'll be good. Next course of action, I guess, is leveling up Chevreuse again. So let's go collect as much as we can then, right? Guess that's the goal. Nice. And how many do we need for Chevreuse? 14 more. We'll get it in no time. It'll be a cakewalk pretty much. Let's climb the tower. Nice. Okay. Wait, there's a quest underneath? Okay. I have to return to that. Wait, there's a time trial down there? How have I not seen this? That I completed all the challenges. Oh no.
Alley-oop.
We got this.
You've earned yourself
Nice.
a reward. Merciless.
I love how we're just picking fruit. This is like a whole part of Genshin is just pick up fruit. You got this. Pick up the fruit. Good thing I made it out of there before a conflict arose. Okay, we have way more than enough. Okay. This guy's just chilling. I kind of want to take him out. And that was easy. Oh, I have to beat this crab guy. Uh-oh. Oh, the degree of difficulty is gonna so bad. It's gonna increase so much. All right, let's look for the mecha. I guess we can look and go hunting for robots. What's the Sealy doing here?
Oh, cool. This stuff looks dope.
Stop right there!
Check this out.
Mine to wield.
Toma now.
Justice will prevail!
Mighty mythical beast.
Where is this guy hiding?
Drop your weapons!
Oh, that's where you were hiding.
Mine to wield. You over.
Fire it up. I got you covered.
Final warning! Hands where I can see them!
Extinguish.
Wrong person. I can craft one. Okay. I'm going to end stream. It's getting tiring. And plus, I'd rather not do this on stream because it's not that exciting. So, we're going to end today. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, for a long stream. That was under 2 hours. So, yeah, it was pretty long. I promise we'll get better as time goes on. I'm just trying to figure out, like, just little improvements here and there. So, bear with me while we make some big changes to my channel and streaming. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, if it will actually let me load and then turn off OBS, because OBS just decided to stop functioning. So I guess you're stuck with me for a little while longer. So yay, I guess. That sounds great. Amazing even. Come on. What if I sign out of Mr. Genshin Impact? See if it works. Alright, we're gonna wait a sec. We're just gonna chill. We'll figure something out. If you can see me, I'm trying to figure it out on my phone if I'm still streaming or not. That's such a weird angle. I'm on my phone. I want everyone to know that. All right. So it seems like it's just not responding. I want to see if I could hit stop streaming. I cannot. Okay. All right. We're exiting out. We're going to see if I can mess with it a little bit. Come on. Come on, OBS. Don't do this to me.